All right, welcome everybody to the BRL Realistic Performance tier, here for round number 3, the Spanish GP, and we have got a full, well, close to a full grid. We have a full 20-car grid, so it's going to be absolutely thrilling and exciting. We got a couple new people in here, including New Zealand Ryan, who is going to be... Actually, no, never mind. He's a reserve. No, wait, here he is. He's in the Alfa Romeo. Apologies. He is a reserve, but he's chilling in the Alfa Romeo. We've got the heavy hitters like Fin Fan and Cookie here as well, and I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely cracking race. I'm your host, streamer, and commentator, Deer Hunter, and this should be an absolutely phenomenal race. Spain has produced some really good races in BRL. And I think with this realistic performance tier, it's going to be even better. Waiting for the drivers to load in here. And a couple of the heavy hitters from last week, SSR Joe, Noidal, FinFan, Cookie, Taylor, I could see them all battling again here tonight. But you've also got to look at guys like Ginger Horizon as well, and New Zealand Ryan, of course, and even Skeppy, maybe. So a lot of names you can throw into the hat here, especially with a couple people moving around to different cars. So definitely it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Full qualifying 1, start off with 20 drivers, move down to 15. That means 5 don't make the cut, they're out. Then we reduce the time by a few minutes. 15 drivers, top 10 move on to the final 10 shootout. Then a few more minutes are cut, and it's 10 drivers trying to get for pole. But you got to be careful, because if you make it to that second round of qualifying, you have to start on the tires you set your fastest lap on. So we could see an interesting mix between some people starting on softs, some on mediums. Just depend whether or not you're wanting to do the 1-stop or the 2-stop. And we're having a problem. Looks like Cookie has left. And checking something here. We may be having a restart. And it appears Cookie's at spots has gone dumpster fire. And now he should be good. But let's go to the driver on an outlap. Ginger Horizon in the Ferrari. Since the performance update hasn't happened yet, it is actually decent. We'd expect a good showing here by Ginger Horizon. Spain is one of them tracks where if you can hook up a lap, you can really hook it up. But there's also a ton of places where you can mess up, and it can cost you time. You got Noidal on the inners. Must be a glitch. And this first lap is going to be a really good indication. I think pole is going to be high 14s, low 15s, I'd say. But for this first session, if you can hit a solid, I'd say high 15, you should feel pretty safe. Maybe even a low 16. But on for a lap. Let's go on board with Ginger Horizon. Smooth through these first couple corners. Got to get on the gas as early as you dare for the long sweeping right-hander. Late on the brakes, brake right before that shadow. Let it swing out wide. And then sweep it back through here. Short shift to second for the rotation. Third, and power it off. Very tricky corner right here. Probably my worst corner for me, at least on this track. Trying to get it turned in. Don't go out wide, or else you'll get a warning or a corner cutting penalty. 7th gear up through there, top of the hill. Then you just want to brake just before the 100-meter board right here. And he took it a little deep, cuts it back. 3rd, 4th, 5th. Break it down to 3rd, just for the rotation. 4th on out. Then tight section through here, all the grip you can muster. Then launch out of this final corner. Use the curb as you dare. Rock it up to the final corner, to the line, and it's a 17.5. So you might have actually been a little bit underestimating here. You might be fine with a high 16 being able to move on. Granted, that is the banker, but that's a 17.5. Got Boss Cookie about to start a lap. You see Raffle go P2 with an 18.3. Nordle's on a lap. Phantom heading through Sector 2. Taylor jumps up to the top with a 17.2 in the Alfa Romeo. See who else we've got on a pretty good lap here. Zoo is starting a lap in the McLaren. Joe in the middle sector in the Mercedes. Skeppy has invalidated his lap in the AlphaTauri. Phantom, let's go on board with him. He made it into Q3 last week. So let's see what kind of performance he can have here this week in the Racing Point. Really overshooting those corners. Has not been a tidy lap at all. Goodness dearie me. Coming up to the line, what will it be? And it is way off with an 18.9. Going to be disappointed with that. Looks like we got a Ferrari off. Yep, Ginger Horizon. Cookie heading through Sector 2. Let's go on board with him. Finished P4 last week. And he was setting some really good lap times in practice. Slight lockup. Abusing the curves, but it's what you got to do. Run up to the line. What will it be for the Red Bull driver? P1 with a 15.4. Cookie asserting his dominance in that Red Bull. Got New Zealand Ryan in the Alfa Romeo. Zoo goes P2 in the McLaren. What can Ryan do in his first race for realistic performance? And he's invalidated, actually. He's invalidated through Sector 3. Got Swifty, his teammate, off in Sector 3. Wiz in the Williams. New driver starting his lap. See who else we have on a lap. I don't see anybody else, but good lap for Zoo. Zoo in the McLaren goes up to P2. It looks like Ryan might actually be trying for another here. We'll see as he heads through Sector 2. Yeah, I don't think he is. Swifty through Sector 3. He jumps up to P7, a very slow lap. But we did see him make a mistake in Sector 3. Wiz in the Williams. Trying to be a good match to Burroughs. Burroughs has been outperforming that Williams like crazy. And let's see what Wiz can do. He is on the mediums. Just for his banker, I'm assuming. So if he can slide in about P5, P6, that'd be not too shabby. Come through the final few corners, taking it very cautiously. Hitting the apex beautifully, I might add, out of the final corner. It's going to make a pretty good lap here. He goes P5 on the mediums, a 17.9. That's pretty good for the Williams. Going to be looking at him later in the session. Only 8 people have attempted a lap so far. And just under 8 minutes in, FinFan in the Ferrari, who had a very disappointing China. Started on the front row, but then got held up in traffic at the back end of the race. Really got screwed over. Just could never rebound after making that first stop for a penalty, that drive-through. And he's definitely going to want to rebound this race. And through Sector 3, got quite a bit of traffic. Get out of the way, lads. More traffic right here. Fern, get out of the way. That had to have hurt him. I had to have hurt him. Running up to the line, might get a little bit of slipstream, but that dirty air is so powerful. What will it be? P2 still, so he's able to recover nicely to a 16.6. I might have underestimated or overestimated how quickly the time should be in, because just a quick looky right here. I mean, you might be safe in the low to mid 17s even. Meanfern on a lap in the middle sector. Ritzy heading through sector 1. Joe through the middle sector. Neudel. Here goes Reptile. What can he do? He goes P8. He's going to want a little bit more for that. Let's see what Fern can do. Actually, I believe Joe might be on a lap ahead of him. It is in the Mercedes. I definitely expect him to be top 3 here. He actually set a purple middle sector. As I say that, somebody else beats it. What can Joe do? That was not a good final corner, or penultimate corner. Run up to the line. It's not going to be enough. It's going to be P4. See what Fern can do in the McLaren. It's going to be P7. It's a mid-17. Ritzy slots in right behind him in the Renault. I mean, yeah, as the way it's looking, if you can go and hit a mid-17, you're pretty safe right now. Granted, only 13 people have set a lap, but just from early observation, let's see what Itzmi can do. Only able to muster P14. It's quite a ways off his teammate. 2 seconds to be, in fact. Got Skeppy starting a lap in AlphaTauri. His teammate currently sitting P6. Be sure to comment in the Twitch, guys, who y'all think will get knocked out in Q1. I think Skeppy's target right now is just to run up there and be close to his teammate. He had a absolutely disastrous time at China, just so miserable. And if he can come in with just a couple tenths close to his teammate, I think he'll consider this a victory. Might get a little bit of traffic here. Itzmi should get out of the way. See how it appears into this corner. Yeah, Itzmi needs to get out of the way. I don't know if he realizes how close he is. Yep, he does. Oh, Skeppy locked up. Skeppy had a big lock up there. But it's not a terrible lap so far. Oh, a little bit of oversteer. Might hurt him. Run up to the line. Be a 17.7. Half a second off his teammate. I mean, it's something. It's safe right now, but who knows if it will be later. Swifty down there in P14. So who else we've got on a lap? Looks like Ginger's on a lap here. Go down to some of the guys who have not set a lap yet. Rhodes heading through Sector 2. Unknown. He jumps up to P2 at a 15.8. We might have a challenger with Cookie now. Burrop's heading through the middle sector, right behind Rhodes. Neudel on an out lap. Go back to Ginger Horizon. And the Ferrari, he is 1/1000th slower than his quickest lap currently. Now 2 tenths. Going to need an almighty Sector 3. He is safe. I mean, I'm sure he's going to want to be a lot closer to his teammate than he is right now. Just throwing that Ferrari into these corners. Out of the final corner. What will it be? He's not going to improve. Not going to improve. Rhodes up to the line. What does he do? He goes P14, P15 as Burrops goes to P8. And the Williams. Those Williams boys are here to play. Neudel's on a lap. Got Cookie on a lap. He's 3.5 tenths down. He's invalidated. 5 minutes remaining. And I'm saying it right now. If you're 10th on up, I'm feeling safe. If you're at a mid-17, notice there's that little bit of a gap, that 17.4 between that and that 17.7. If you're Skeppy on down, I'm going to be a little bit worried. But Ritzy on up, I'm feeling pretty good. So who else we got on a lap? Burrop's going for another lap in the Williams. If he can jump into the top 5 here, pretty good. He's going to abandon it, actually, I think. Yep, he's abandoned. Rhodes is abandoned. Noidal on a lap, but he has invalidated, unfortunately. And I think Ryan here, just chilling in the pits, might be starting from the back for a little bit of excitement. Let's see if we can hear. Chandler, if you're listening, tell us, is your driver going to be starting last here? Or it might be Hoop. I can't remember who the team manager is for Alfa Romeo. I'll check. As we're trying to see who we got on a lap here. Raffle appears to be in the middle sector. Raffle trying to make sure he's safe. Currently sitting at an 18.3, which I mentioned earlier. I don't think it's going to be that safe. Might be an improvement. Pretty good out of the final corner. Let's see what it is. Slight improvement to an 18.2. He's not in the drop zone, but I would not feel safe with that lap still. Swifty is green through the middle sector. Oh, It's Me has spun. It's Me has spun, and I don't think he has enough time. Come back, and as Noidal goes to P3 in the Red Bull. Good lap for him at a 15.9. Good lap for Noidal. As you can see, you got even drivers 13th, 12th, 11th here in the pit still, just waiting towards the very end. Reptile can only muster a P15 at an 18.5. Doing another lap here. Let's see if Raffle is on another lap. Nope. It's Me spun. I think he might have enough time. Reptile going for another. He's currently just under a 10th up. And the Haas, which is a dog of a car this year. I mean, it's not horrible, but I mean, it's the bottom of the midfield. And I don't think Ryan is going to go out. Make sure to comment, guys, on the Twitch as we got Reptile half a tenth down. And if he can just pick up, a few tenths here, he'd be P13, P14. But he's currently sitting at an 18.5, which, like I said, I would not feel very comfortable about. Burrups and Taylor have retired, so is Unknown and Cookie. What does Reptile do at the line? He needs to beat an 18.5. He goes 18.2. That jumps him ahead of Raffle, which could be very crucial. Very, very crucial. Yep, Ryan is not going to go out. And if I'm P11 on up, I'm feeling pretty good. So I dare to say, and yeah, as they all retire. So dare I say, 12th down to 19th. Keep your hat on, boys. This is going to get good. Raffle on another lap in the race. No, he's not. He's backed off of it, actually. Rhodes on an out lap. You see all these guys getting ready. Phantom is on a quick one in the racing point. He needs to beat an 18.2. Be good here. Coming up to the line. It's been okay. What will it be? It's a 17.9. That puts him in P14. But can he hold it? Wiz is on a lap in the Williams. Reptile, he can't do anymore. Raffles in. He isn't going to be knocked out. Rhodes, he's starting a lap. 40 seconds remain. This is all to play for. It's Me is not going to go back out. So 12th to 18th. Raffles not going to get another lap. Reptile might be starting another lap here. No, he's going to pull into the pits. So Reptile is leaving it up to fate. I think. So we're on board with Wiz here. Oh, as he about loses it. Yeah, this is not going to be improvement. Skeppy's on a lap. He's even. See if we can go on board with Rhodes. He's through the middle sector. Swifty through the middle to the first sector. So Reptile and Raffle cannot go back out. It's down to Rhodes and Swifty. Skeppy should be pretty safe here. He's even. Phantom can't go quicker. Rhodes through the third sector. He needs to beat an 18.2. He's currently sitting at an 18.9. Final couple corners. Using all of the track. What does he do? He can't do it. He stays P18. Swifty through the third and final sector. Cookie or Skeppy through the final couple corners. He should be safe, but what does he improve to? He's going to back out. He's going to back out. It's down to Swifty. Can he get it at the line? I don't think he can. No, he stays P19. Phantom stays in. Reptile does not. Wow, those drivers at the end just could not do it. They just could not jump up there and do it. Ryan ended up going out for a lap, and he ended up jumping into P4, clutch at the end with a 16.3. That's who you saw jump way up there. Waiting for everybody to retire here. Waiting on Zoo, but wow. You know, Skeppy and Wiz just made it through there. They decided not to improve upon their laps. Phantom just got in there with a 17.9. Reptile couldn't go quicker. Raffle pulled in the pits. He was done. Rhodes and Swifty couldn't improve. So, bad luck and just not able to do it. Yeah, we got a really close fight there at the top between Cookie, Unknown, Nordle, and Ryan, I think. Ryan, he only did one timed lap there. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what he does in the next coming sessions. And I thought a mid-17 was going to be safe, and it ended up being a high 17. So heading into this next session, yeah, I definitely think the times are going to be quicker. As we wait out the clock. And as we go into Q2, the top 5, Cookie, Unknown, Nordle, Ryan, and FinFan. Both the Red Bulls sitting there P1 and P3. Mercedes P2 and P7. And Ferrari P5 and P8. And you see that Alfa Romeo of Ryan just slapping it in there with a P4. But the 5 out. Reptile, Raffle, Rhodes, Swifty, and It's Me wants to watch Phantom, Wiz, Skeppy, and Raccoon on the bubble possibly for this next session. Fern as well. Going to be interesting to see. And there we go, 15 minutes now for the drivers. Remember, this is the session where the tire you set your quickest lap on, you start the race on. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they choose to go for the softs, which die out pretty early, or they go for the mediums and do the easy one stop here. Let's see a couple try the mediums in qualifying 1. And going out early, you see a few on the mediums, including the top 3. And let's go look at our first driver out on track, Phantom. Let's see if he can make it into Q3 once again this week. Did not have that great of a race last week, unfortunately. But trying to do a little bit better this weekend. Phantom, once again, he's going to be one of those people that's been close on the bubble. Same with Fern. Fern, Wiz, even Ritzy, I think. Couple of those guys can be really close to see whether or not they can move on here to Q3. But starting on a lap is the Pink Panther driver. Let's see what he does here. Hard braking into turn one. Brake right about where that asphalt is showing on the left-hand side. He's keeping it in fifth. Be able to hug that curb on the inside. Sweeping right-hander. Do not get out of the gas. Try to keep it tidy. Brake right before the shadow here. It's sort of a blind corner. Just sort of guess it out here as he's got a car in front of him. Unknown. That had to hurt him. He had to have messed up his turn-in point as he just totally mounted the curb there. Another tricky section right here. Do not get on them curves too much or it'll send your car for a spin. You had to let out of it there through the uphill portion. Hard on the brakes here through sector 2, heading into 3. Chooses to keep it in 4th here. Did a 17.9 in his first qualifying. Let's see what he can do here. If he can back it up, if he can lower it a bit, that'd be better. But what is it? It's an 18.5. That's not the best lap in the world, but something to improve upon. Cookie through sector 1, Nordal through sector 3. FinFan goes to the top with a 16.4 on the mediums, might I add. Let's see what Ryan can do heading up to the line. Does an 18.8. Noidal to the top with a 16.1. Let's see what his teammate can do as he's heading through sector 2. See who else we got on the lap. Wiz is right behind him. Interesting to see what Wiz can do. Him and Burrops, I think, are going to be a really good combination in the Williams. Cookie, ring the bell. Purple sector 2. Let's see if he can continue the momentum. Nordal ran a 16.1, FinFan a 16.4. What can Cookie do? He does a 15.4 on the medium tire. Let's see what Wiz, he comes into the pits actually. He invalidated his lap. Horizon is on a lap in the mediums as well in the Ferrari. If he can slide in around his teammate, it'll be a pretty good lap. Get a good indication through the middle sector. Oh, he invalidated. That is not going to be good. Not going to be good at all because he wanted to start on these mediums. And now they have wear on them. I'm sure they already have probably 3 or 4% on them. And if you do a whole nother cycle on them, they're probably going to be about 7% or so. And then once you throw on the formation lap, you could be at 12 or 13% before the race even starts, which is not going to be good. Got Joe, got Zoo. Zoo about to start a lap in the McLaren. He's going to be one of those drivers you're going to have to watch to see if he can make it into Q3. I think it might be a little bit different here. I think you need to be a little bit quicker. Dare I say a mid 17? We saw a 17.9 get through last time, and I'm going to say a 17.3, 17.4 possibly is what you're going to have to do here. Got Zoo getting around the Ferrari. Like I said, we've already seen a couple people just invalidate their lap. We're already halfway through this session. Only a little over 8 minutes to go, so. Slight lift shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's not bad. That's a 50.6. It's not horrible. He is on the mediums. So he's going to be want to be quicker than Phantom, at least, I'd say, at an 18.2. Coming to the final chicane. Hit those apexes quite beautifully, actually. Coming out of the final corner. This is not a bad lap for the McLaren driver. What does he do? 17.5. I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good, as Mainfern, his teammate, bests him by just a quarter of a second. Ginger Horizon, a 28.9 on the mediums. He's definitely going to be doing another flyer here. Burrop's on a lap in the Williams as well. Joe, first of these guys, I believe. Yep. Got several drivers going on laps now. Joe at 49.5. He is on the softs, might I add. But we have a chance of him going up there onto the first row of the grid. He might be able to beat Neudel. Granted, there's a huge difference between the softs and mediums, but nonetheless, be a mighty lap for Joe. What will it be? It's a P2 with a 15.8. But granted, it is on the softs. Ritzy, Sector 3, unknown, coming up to the line. The teammate, he goes P3 on the mediums. Ginger, purple, Sector 2, Ritzy in the Renault. What can he do? He jumps up to P7. That's a 17.4. That's what I think it's going to be. P7, P8 right there. Very close. Wiz has invalidated his lap. Burrops has abandoned his lap. What can Taylor do as we see? I believe that's Ginger Horizon. He goes up into P5 with a 16.4. He should feel pretty good about that. Can he get up there in them 16s or 17s on the mediums in the AlphaTauri? What does he do? 17.3. That's going to be really close. Really close right there. You see that group from Mainfern to Zoo, 7th to 10th. That is going to be right where I think the cutoff is going to be. And you've got, 2.5 tenths separating those boys. It's going to be really close. Wiz starting another lap here. Second lap on the softs. We'll get a good indication through the middle sector. If it's a low 50, he's in the ballpark. Even a mid 50. That's what Zoo did. He's P10 and he did a 50.4. Sorry, 50.6. It's a 50.9. He's going to have to do some work through the middle sector, but granted, this is his second flying lap on the softs. He will have another chance for another run. Taylor jumps up into P9. No, sorry, Zoo moves up into P7. That moves Ritzy on the bubble. What does Wiz do? 17.6. He had a good third sector there, but he's going to have to get a little bit more. This is going to be really close. You got Phantom and Ryan. Ryan, he's yet to set a really good lap yet, but he's going to get up there for sure. But Skeppy and Phantom, they're looking to be a little bit of a dangerous section here. You got Wiz, Ritzy, Taylor, Zoo. All of these guys could be either in or out. Burrop sitting pretty good there for 16.8 in the Williams. It's already Cookie and Neudel say they're done. They're good. So we close in on 4 minutes to go. Drivers just readying themselves. So we got Skeppy on a flying lap here in AlphaTauri. Get a good indication for the first sector. It's a 21.6. 4.5 tenths quick up. Right now, it's looking to be about a P11 run. But 2 more sectors to go. Very early on, we'll get a better indication through the middle sector. It can be a low 50. He's in the running. It's a 50.9. That's what Wiz did, and he's sitting P12. Only 3/10, or sorry, a quarter of a second off the bubble. So if Skeppy can have a mighty Sector 3, he might have a crack at it, but I don't think he has enough time after this run to come back in. So it's going to be now or never unless he pulls in. And he's not gonna. This is going to be it. This is going to be the last lap for Skeppy. And it's not going to be enough. It's only P13. Unless he does another lap, which we'll monitor here. We'll monitor. Since nobody else is out on track, everybody else is in the pit. We'll see if Skeppy does another. We have seen people improve on the mediums on a second or even third lap. And he's invalidated. Skeppy's done. He can't do anymore. So, it's down to now Phantom, Ryan, Wiz, and Raccoon to make it in. You see Raccoon going for his out lap. Yeah, Skeppy, that's got to be a shame for him. I don't think he has enough fuel. Now, unless he just really saves here, really saves the ERS and fuel here, I don't think he'll be able to do another run. We'll watch him here and see if he in fact does for another, but that's going to be a ton of laps on the mediums. I think he's just better off riding this out and getting his free choice of tire in the race and getting a fresh set, because this has got to be probably, I'd say, 10 or 12% already at least on the tires. We'll see here if he goes for another. He's going to pull in. Yep, that's a smart move. Got Ritzy, the first of the guys in the drop zone, going for another lap. He needs to improve by just a quarter of a tenth. But if I'm him, I want to get into the high 16. Even Burrop's at a 16.8. He's going out again, which I think is a smart move. So if you can hit a mid 16 here, or even a high 16, it's gonna be close here. 21.3. That's half a tenth up. That's what he needs to do. If he can hit a 16, I think he'll be happy with that. Like I said, it's going to be really crucial to see what the time is through the middle sector. He's really locking these puppies up. Trying to carry as much speed as possible. Slight lift through there, through the uphill section. Skeppy's retired. You got even drivers like Ginger Horizon and FinFan. P5, P6 on an out lap. Ritzy half a second up. This is a really good lap for the Renault driver. We've seen him throughout races this season, through qualifying sessions, put in some really good laps. This is what he needs. Final chicane. He overcooked it a bit. Does he get the power off? Final corner. This is going to be a really good lap for the Renault driver. What is it? He jumps up to P7. It's a 16.5. That's what he needs. Wiz is on the lap. Phantom through the middle sector. Burrops. Ginger Horizon through the first sector. He's 2/10 up. Go to the first guy, and it's going to be Phantom. He's currently 6/10 up. He needs to get to a 17.2. He needs to improve by a second. He needs to find 4/10 to get into qualifying 3. Oh, a little bit wide there. Lost some speed. Run up to the line. Oh, he's really losing the back end. I don't think this will improve. It's only P13. He couldn't do it. Ryan in the final sector. He's 1.7 seconds up. This is what Ryan needs to ensure himself into Q number 3. Final corner. This is going to easily do it. Yes, sir. He jumps up into P7. Ritzy. He's done. Burrops in Sector 3. Mainfern through Sector 3. What does Wiz do in the Williams? He jumps up into P10. Burrops trying to improve. 2 Williams in Q3 possibly. He stays P9. It's down to Fern. Does Fern do it? He beats him. Fern gets in by a 1/10 of a second to deny Williams 2 cars in Q3. Wow. I thought it was a possibility. I thought we were going to both see Burrops and Wiz make it into Q3, but nonetheless, heck of a job for those Williams drivers. P9 and P11. Burrops, I think, is going to have another crack at even moving forward. I mean, look, he ran a 16.5. He could definitely have a shot maybe at P5 in Q3, but Fern toppling him to go to P10. Zoo is really close too, and Taylor has to be the big surprise as he gets knocked out in Q2. Phantom just couldn't improve enough. Taylor out by 4/10. Zoo, P12, just a couple tenths off. Ritzy stayed up there in P8. New Zealand Ryan, P7 on the mediums, might I add. But noticing here, look, you got Cookie, Unknown, Neudel, Ryan, all on the mediums. Everybody else on the sauce, except for Zoo, who tried to get into Q3 on the mediums. Valiant effort by him. So did Skeppy. But they'll get a free tire choice. As we're waiting for the clock to expire again, because Zoo is in the pit and not deciding to retire. And let's see if we can get a word from Taylor here. Possibly. And Neudel. No, I'm going to keep calling it Neudel. And there we go. Top 5. Cookie. No surprise there. Joe deciding to do it on the softs. Interesting. Unknown P3. Neudel P4 and Ginger P5. FinFan on the mediums as well, P6. So is Ryan P7. Then Ritzy making it through P8 on the softs. So does Burrops and so does Fern. Wiz just missing it in the Williams. Zoo, Taylor, Phantom, and Skeppy will get a free tire choice as they're knocked out. And according to Taylor, he got blocked coming out of the bots, coming out of the garage, actually, which he says cost him a chance of setting a quick lap there at the end. So a little bit of a problem for the AlphaTauri drivers between Skeppy and Taylor already. Wow. I'm sure they'll settle it in the race. Hold your punches, boys, until we get into the race. Keep it civil. Ooh, already arguments going on. Ooh, this is exciting. Oh, I wish y'all could see the Discord. But here we go. We got the 10 drivers going to be battling it out for pole. Should be able to get 2, possibly. Yeah, I don't think you can get 3 runs here. I think 2 is going to be it. Definitely got to think the favorites here have got to be Neudel, Cookie, Ryan, possibly Joe, possibly, and Unknown. It's going to be really interesting between those 4 or 5 drivers. Be interesting to see what some of the other guys like FinFan and Ginger and the Ferrari, see what they can do. They were hanging right on the back of them, but I don't think they were close enough. Maybe see guys like Fern and Burrops. What can they do? Burrops obviously has been the star stunner this season in the Williams, making it into Q3 a lot and showing some good pace in the race. But got Cookie and Neudel, both the Red Bulls, out, and they're going to be the first ones to go on laps. As they get set here. Try not to cause too much wear for the tires. All these drivers do get an extra set of softs. We're going to make it in the Q3s. So sit back, relax, and watch as these beautiful sounding Honda engines take to the Spanish GP circuit. Not so great sector 1. It's a 21-2. He might be a little bit disappointed with that. Let's see if he can rebound through sector 2. A little bit of a lockup. Nordal right behind him might be catching a bit of dirty air. See what Cookie does. He does a 49-3, so he was definitely able to rebound. Nordal did a 49-3. Nordal goes purple sector 2. This is going to be really interesting as Cookie goes wide. Is it going to be Cookie or Nordal for provisional pole? Nordal has the edge. Ryan goes to the top of a 15-8. That's a good lap. Nordal with a little bit of oversteer at the line. Cookie, he invalidated. What does Nordal do? Up to the line. What will it be? It's a 15.4 Nordal. Oh, Cookie has a challenge this week. Cookie has a challenge. Nordal has come up to the party. Unknown in the Mercedes. He goes P2. Ritzy P4. Wow, Cookie invalidated. Ginger in the Ferrari. Can he knock on the second row of the grid and say hello? What does he do? He goes up into P number 2 in the Ferrari. Only a 10th behind the Red Bull driver. Burop starting a lap in the Williams. Joe not on a lap. FinFan through sector 1 and Fern heading through sector 1. What can FinFan do? Can he match his teammate? Say in the Twitch chat, boys, who do you think is going to get pole? Who do you think? Can FinFan match his teammate? Really using up them curbs. It's a low 49. He has a shot. It's a 49-3. Purple. Sector number 2. He's got a real shot here if the driver in front doesn't mess him up too much. Please get out of the way, lad. Get out of the way, unknown. Oh, that had to have messed him up right there. He went a little deep. A little bit of dirty air. But what does FinFan do? Does he go top 3? Run up to the line? Yes, he does. He goes to the top. FinFan in the Ferrari. P1. What does Fern and Burrops do? Burrops is invalidated. What does Fern do in the McLaren? Does he jump up around Ryan or can he not do it? He can't. He only goes P6. It's a 16-6. Cookie in the garage. Burrops invalidated. He might be going for another lap here. Yep, he is. Let's see what the Williams driver can do. And controversy, Cookie had some cheeky track limits entering the pits. And he's going to be getting a visit from the stewards as, oh, Burrops goes wide again. Ah, man. Disappointing for the Williams driver. But look at this, FinFan goes to pole, provisional pole. Halfway through the session, it's really close up there at the top. Nordal a 15.4, Horizon a 15.5, Unknown a 15.7, and Ryan a 15.8. I mean, there's 4 tenths separating them. Cookie on an out lap, he's going to be really ticked, I think, to see his teammate up there in P2 in a Ferrari P1 and P3. But let's see what Joe can do in the Mercedes. Let's see if he can edge those Mercedes a little bit closer to the Ferrari and Red Bulls. Here we go. He needs to be at a low 21 through the first sector to start it off good. If he can be a 21.3, 21.4 even, he'll be set. It's a 21-2. It's going to be really, it's going to come down to sector 2 and 3. Sector 1 is, you know, if you can gain if you're within a couple tenths, you're okay. It really comes down to sector 2 and 3. It needs to be a low 40, a low 49. Really throwing the car through there. What is it? Ring, ring, ring. Purple sector 2. It's a 49.3. If he can hold sector number 3, he'll be front row of the grid. Don't know if there'll be enough for pole, but we'll see. Chucks the car in. On the power early. This could possibly be a shot at pole. What is it? Running up to the line. It's a 15-2. Joe to the top. Cookie through middle sector. If he can be a 49.2, 49.3, he's going to have a crack at it. This is so close. It's a 49.1, purple sector 2. If he can hold it through the third sector, we will have a new provisional pole sitter. Can he hold it? Hits the curb, goes really wide. He's got to get the power down through the final chicane. Really mounting the curbs. A little bit of oversteer. What will it be? He's running up to the line. He does. It's a 14.9 for the Red Bull driver. He just said, here you go, boys. If you want to crack at it, have at it. Neudl's invalidated his time in the Red Bull. Unknown's on an outlap. Burrops is on an outlap. Here we go. Unknown on a flyer. He saw what his teammate can do. Can he get on the first row of the grid and challenge Cookie and his teammate? Needs to be a low 21. It's a 21 flat. Purple sector 1. Ring the bell. We've got a challenger. It needs to be a good middle sector. Cookie had a really good sector 3 that last time, but his middle sector wasn't, even though he was purple, I think there was a little bit of time in it. See if Unknown can match it. It's a 49.3. He's a 10th down. He needs a monster sector 3. If he can even get on the second row of the grid, I think he'll be happy. Chucking the car through here. Using up the curbs. Easy on the throttle out. It's pretty good. I think it's going to be about P4. What is it in actuality? It's only P5. It's P5. Burrops is on a lap. And the Williams. It's a 21.5. Slotting him in about P8 right now, which would be a success for the Williams driver. Basically, anything better than 10th is really good for Burrops and the Williams. But let's see what in fact he can do. He's been really getting a whole lot more out of this car than there is to give. Very much like a George Russell. Let's see how far off he is through the middle sector. It's a 50.2. That's about a second off the top guys, but still, that is darn impressive. He's pretty much on match here with Ryan, maybe a couple tenths off, but still an excellent effort by Burrops. Looking like he's going to slot in P8. Several drivers on outlaps, 1 minute to go. If he can hold this, it's going to be P8 for the Williams driver. Coming out of the final corner, it's going to be P9. Wow, he actually lost a little bit there through the middle sector. 2 100s down from Fern. Ritzy is not going to continue on. Fern on an outlap. Ginger Horizon on a lap. Unknown starting another lap. The top 4 all on outlaps. 30 seconds remain. On board with Ginger. 21-1. He's a 10th up. Needs to find about half a second. He needs to find more through the middle and third sector, but he had a really good sector one for that Ferrari driver. He'd love it if he can match his teammate there. He's going to get a cheeky slipstream. It's a 49.3. It's an improvement, but it's not on par. Time has expired. All laps count. Joe is done. Ritzy is done. Burrops can improve. Horizon trying to get onto the second row of the grid. It'll be a tall ask, but how does he do through the final couple corners? Out of the final corner, run up to the line. He had a pretty good third sector. What will it be? He goes to P2. P2 for the Ferrari driver. FinFan through the second sector. He has invalidated. Nordal through the middle sector. Unknown has invalidated as well. Ryan 2 seconds up as he starts his lap. It's a 15.8. He invalidated. Fern through the third sector is 2/10 up. Looking at Cookie, he's going through the middle sector. Neudel, he is our next challenger. He needs to improve by 4/10 to get onto the front row with his teammate. He's already out of VRS. This is going to hurt him. What is it out of the final corner? Can he get onto the second row of the grid? It goes to P2. It's a Red Bull lockout. Cookie up to the line. Fern can only muster PA, and Cookie retains pole. Wow. P1, P2 for the Red Bull guys. Ferrari shocking it up there on the second row of the grid with Horizon. FinFan P5. The Mercedes, all they could muster was P4 and P6. Wow. Wow. That was so exciting. So absolutely exciting. P7 is Ryan. A little bit disappointing, I'm sure he is with that. But look at that. You got the top 6 within 4/10. Any of them could win. P8, Fern. Burrots, P9. Ritzy, P10. Look at that. 4 100s separating Nordal and Cookie. Nordal, he has not come to play. He has come to play this weekend. It's not like Cookie has an Alexander Albon on his tail this weekend. No, sirree. Cookie has Neudel ready to fight. Waiting for the drivers. Get everything sorted here. Let us know, boys, in the Twitter and the Twitch chat who you think is going to be on the podium. Tell us your top 3 and tell us who you think is going to win the race. If you guess the winner correctly, you get a shout out. If you guess it correctly. But here we go here. Had to get a sip of Gatorade. But remember, top 3 are on mediums, and then 5th through 7th are on mediums as well. So Joe is in a tough spot here. But how the race, I think, is going to go, I think Cookie's going to hold it. I think Cookie is going to retain P1. I think Horizon is going to go up to P2. I think he'll pass Neudel. And then I think Ryan P3. I think Ryan can get, possibly Ryan P2. It's going to be really close, I think, between Ryan getting P2 and P3, and then Horizon. You got Nordal there as well. But I'm going to go Cookie. I'm going to say Cookie, Ryan, Horizon. I think Ryan can get up there. Going to be really interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Bunch of drivers on mediums, only 5 drivers on softs, 1 driver on the hard. That's raffle. Interesting strategy there, but I guess as a team manager, Thinks he knows what he's doing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment y'all have been waiting for, getting ready for the cars to take to the grid for 33 laps at the Spanish GP. Up to 39 viewers. Let's try to smash that. Let's get 60, 65 here. As the drivers take their grid slots. Here we go. They're all slotted in, getting ready for the lights. Here we go. Should be an absolute thriller, ladies and gentlemen. Waiting for the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red lights here for realistic tier BRL at Spain. It's lights out, and away we go. The Red Bull's off to a pretty good start. Got to be careful due to the Ferraris in the back. They're 3 wide. 3 wide. The Red Bull has to take evasive action. Or sorry, the Ferrari does. To avoid the grass, you got the Mercedes of Joe trying to get frisky. Through the back here. Keep it clean, boys. All you see a McLaren and a Williams touching. Don't touch, boys. All you see a McLaren way off in a Joe. Joe, something has happened to Joe. Virtual safety car. That was a Ferrari. Wow. That was FinFan. FinFan and Joe made contact. And a virtual safety car. Joe is out. FinFan, I'm sure, has to have damage. And look at the Williams boys. P6 and P7. Wow. Getting ready for this to end here. Should be ending pretty quickly. Neudel actually jumped Cookie. As we're back racing, can Neudel hold him off? Ryan up to P5. I'll show you the position calculator here in a second. Biggest mover being Wiz and Burrops, as well as Skeppy. And it's me. Gonna get interesting. And back here through the back, you got a little bit of a gap here. Then you got Ritzy all over the back of Wiz. Does the Renault send it? Oh, they touch. Oh, no. Wiz moved a little bit. And they touched. Here we go. Battle for the lead. As I say that, nope, that's not actually happening. Here we go. Here's a battle for the lead. Neudel and Cookie. 2 of the Red Bulls finding out. Don't pull a Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel. I mean, if you do, it'd make the race even more exciting, but I don't think the team manager would be real happy. Neudel wants redemption from last week. He said last week was really a salvage race and he ended up doing a lot better than he thought he was going to do. He's racing for his grandmother unfortunately passed away 2 weeks ago, and he has been absolutely determined to get a win for her. Can he do it here today? Trying to hold off Cookie, who many have said is a favorite to win the championship. Who said Neudel couldn't challenge him. Well, here he is. Neudel is taking the fight to Cookie. As Cookie gets a bad exit, Neudel scooting away. Going back through the field here, everybody's starting to spread out a little bit as we got actually Ritzy trying to close in on Burrops. Ritzy on the softs, might I add, trying to close down Burrops, who's also on the softs, but he's got a couple of hungry drivers on the mediums right in front. Ryan closing onto the back of Unknown as well, who's closed onto the back of Ginger Horizon. Horizon has struggled at the start of these races. See Clicky starting to close in just a bit. He already gets a 3-second time penalty just 3 laps into this race. Having to send an invite to Taylor real quickly. My apologies. He accidentally got out of the race. I think he had something happen. Let's get him back in just real quickly. And there we go. There you go, Taylor. Here we go. The Red Bulls closing in. Skeppy picks up another penalty. That's 6 seconds worth. Cookie not really closing in. He does have 3 seconds worth of penalties. DRS enabled. Skeppy was. Oh, here we go. Skeppy. Oh, Skeppy and Fern touch. Take it easy, boys. Those are both owners. Set a good example. Touching. Don't make contact, lads. Ritzy is closed onto the back of Burrops. Can't quite get past. Here we go. The Red Bulls duking it out. I think a lot of us are rooting for Nordal here. I try not to be biased in the commentary booth, but come on, Nordal. Flex your wings. Sparky, you're already telling Chandler, tell your driver to go. They are so close at the front. Nordal's definitely going to have to do some defending here, but Nordal has more ERS. This might entice Ginger if they get to battling too much. Nordal gets a really good exit out of that final corner. He's been a lot better than Cookie out of that final corner. Cookie with the DRS. He sets fastest lap of the race. Nordal defend. He does. Come on, Nordal. You got lads. You got interior. He's cheering you on. Battle for P6, Burrops and Ritzy. Ritzy sends it up the inside like he's Daniel Ricciardo at China. Oh, he makes a mistake. Does Burrops get right back around him? Does the Williams? Up the inside. No, he backs out of it. Big lockup. Back for P13. Got a racing point in the Haas. Slugging it out. More battling here for P6. Ritzy and Burrops, you got a 3-second time penalty for Horizon. The top boys really starting to make a lot of penalties emerge. Cookie and Nordal once again. Here we go. For some reason, when I look back on Nordal, it's showing Cookie. That's really weird. Nordal once again just screams out of that final corner. They're about even on ERS. Cookie, I don't think he's going to be able to close up on him. Nordal sets fastest lap of the race saying, you ain't going to get around me that easy, buddy. Ritzy into the pits on the softs. You know it couldn't last long. Cookie. Biding his time, I'm sure. Horizon just waiting back there in P3, not able to do much. Same with Unknown and Ryan. Ryan sitting a little bit right behind Unknown here. I'm sure he's going to try to get around him here pretty swiftly. Zoo has caught Wiz, both of them drivers on the mediums. So they are in net positions right now, P6 and P7. I never thought I'd say a Williams is in P6. So lads, sure on the Williams boys. Here we go, Nordal and Cookie. They're side by side. Nordal has to give. Cookie got a really good exit down the back straight. Cookie gets it done. Can Nordal respond? Come on, Nordal. Gets a pretty good exit. Cookie actually gets a better one this time. He's going to have to really use the ERS and DRS here. Cookie sets fastest lap of the race. Now, Nordal's really going to have to work here. Got Ryan and Unknown. Now, Nordal's really got to stay on the back of Cookie here. But remember, Cookie does have a 3-second penalty. But once you lose the DRS, it makes it quite hard to get back in it. Already just about a quarter done with this race. I'd expect drivers to start heading into the pits around lap 13 or so, maybe 14. See Ginger, Unknown, and Ryan really starting to close up to each other here. You got Raffle and Phantom, both the racing points. Phantom has left the session. It's not good to see. Connection issue, I'm assuming. Try to get him back in the race. See if he's online. Get him back in here. Because I'm sure he wants to slug this out. Cookie already building a 1.5 second gap on Noidal. Cookie continues to set another quickest lap, an 18.7. Here we go, Unknown and Ryan closing up together. Both on the back of Ginger. Etsy, I've already sent Phantom an invite. Got Zoo and Wiz, it appears, battling out. A Williams versus a McLaren. Looks like Zoo is going to get the best of the battle currently. Skeppy up in the P8, but he does have 6 seconds worth of penalties. As Unknown makes some inroads on the Ferrari. Ferrari of Ginger really holding his own up there in P3, only about 4 seconds back of the leader. Unknown, he's going to have to be careful here because he knows that New Zealand Ryan is right there behind him. So if he goes for a move and it doesn't really work out, he's going to have to be careful. As the interval graphics continues to be stupid. Thank you, Codemasters, for making, the best, launch-ready game ever to be created. Waiting for all the intervals to show here. I apologize, but that's what happens when you have a game like this that decides not to work properly. As Ryan continues to close in on Unknown. These drivers are actually starting to close in on the back of Noidal. Look at Horizon. He's actually really starting to close in on them. So we've got a problem with a Ferrari in the back. It looks like FinFan has spun. FinFan has spun in the Ferrari. That is not going to be good. Not good at all. We got a battle for P12 between Burrops and Rhodes. As Rhodes picks up a time penalty. See if Burrops can get him here. Closing. Not enough. Going to have to wait for the front stretch. Well, there we go. Now we've got all the lovely intervals. Ryan starting to close in on Unknown. Go back to the battle for P12. That's the closest. Burrops is going to have a really good run, I'm sure, on the front straightaway. He's going to the hards, so he can actually possibly make it work to the end. Here we go. Gets a really good run. Has plenty of ARS to play with. He'll go down to the inside. And it's an easy move for the Williams driver. Reptile starting to close in a bit on Ritzy. And once again, we continue to see Ryan try to close in on Unknown. Don't want to hear that disastrous gearbox glitch from Ryan, I'm sure. So let's look back from Unknown. See if Ryan can close in here. The gap is closing. 3 car lengths. 2 car lengths. Ryan's going to take a peek saying he knows he's here. Cookie gets another time penalty. That is already 6 seconds worth for Cookie, and Noidle is just hanging around 2.5 seconds back of him. So if Noidle can pick up the wick before they enter the pits and have a really good in-lap and out-lap in the next coming laps, he could really start to close in here and still have a chance at this win. Cookie continuing his Cookie ways and either wrecking out or getting a bunch of time penalties. As Unknown just can't shake Ryan. Ryan can have another crack at him on the front straightaway. As Ginger's actually starting to make some inroads on Noidle as well. He's closing in. He's really close to the DRS, actually. Probably got to wait another lap, but he's really closing in there. 1.1 seconds. Horizon has really started to pick up the wick, too. He's actually a little bit quicker than Cookie currently. Gap is 4/10 off the final corner. Can Ryan get to him? I know you don't want to hear this dreadfulness, but we have to go on board. Does he peek to the inside? Unknown defends. Oh, this is close. Can Ryan get the exit? Unknown a little bit wide. Ryan has to get off the gas a bit due to the monstrous dirty air. And they maintain position. Skeppy trying to close in on to the back of the Williams driver. He goes in really deep. Not good at all. Ritzy gets past Raffle. An easy move. Easy peasy. Never thought I'd see a Renault get that quickly past a racing point as my Xbox decides to be a little stupid here. Skeppy on the back of the Williams driver. This is for net P7. Best shot once again is going to be front stretch as we see Ryan once again close to Unknown. Has a bit more ERS. Tire window is open. Yep, he's not going to be close enough. Ryan is not close enough. As Ginger Horizon ducks into the pits. Now let's see where he'll come out. Let's say right behind Zoo, possibly right in front of this battle for P7. No, they're going to jump him. No, he's going to get in right behind Zoo, actually. Right behind Zoo. And that's what he needed to do. He probably wanted to be right in front of Zoo, but it's a whole lot better him showing up right behind the McLaren instead of behind the Williams and the AlphaTauri battling. That's for sure. And really trying to make work of him as quickly as you can, because I'm sure Noidle, Cookie are going to come out in front of Zoo. That's a guarantee. But does Unknown jump him by these two battling? Does Ryan jump him by these two battling? Zoo tries to defend. Horizon up the inside. Beautiful, beautiful. He's just got to hope he can build enough of a gap through Sector 3 that the Ferrari does not make another run. Here we go. Unknown and Noidle are in the pits. Noidle, a little bit of a slow stop. If it can still be a 20-something as he exits the pit, still be pretty good. Let's see who comes out in front, him or Horizon. And I think he's going to do it. Yep, he does. By a good margin. By about a second and a half, dare I say. So that's what Horizon needed. And Unknown actually ends up behind Zoo and Ginger. Even though he was behind them, he's quite a bit of ways away, dare I say. So, really interesting here. Must have had a little bit of a slower stop. Either, the couple laps he stayed out, his in laps, or it might have been, just the out laps that Ginger was able to put in. We'll see here as we still got the interval graphic being horrible. Thank you, Codemasters. It's almost a $70 game, and we can't even have the interval worked properly. Just, you know, wonderful claps. Thank you. Thank you for making us pay $70 for such a broken game. Here we go. Cookie and Ryan into the pits. Ryan really started to close up there, only down to 4 seconds. Cookie's going to come out. How much, though, ahead of Neudel? It needs to be around 2.5, 3 seconds. And the gap is, as they come out, you want to wait until they get to the end of Sector 1, because that's when you really see the true difference. Unknown picks up a penalty. It's 2.6. 2.6, so it actually stayed about the same. So really good job by Neudel there. Have to deal with the ghost car a little bit. Horizon lost a bit of time. He's about 5.25 seconds back from Cookie. And Ryan stays behind Unknown and Horizon. It's quite a shocker. I thought Ryan was going to be able to get past Unknown. Yellow flag, Sector 2. Looks like he gets cleared. Neudel trying to get around Horizon. Horizon did get around Neudel, which is crucial. Horizon did get around Neudel. I think something happened to Neudel. Something had to have happened to Neudel. Something had to. Because he was only 2.6 back of Cookie. And now it's 7.5 seconds. So he lost 5 seconds somewhere. That could have been what happened through the middle sector. Oh, what's happened to Neudel? He's back in the pits. Neudel is back into the pits. What has happened? I think he might have broken his wing. Yeah, he must have. Yep, he's putting a new wing on. Neudel. Oh. Unless there's a safety car, there's no chance of him winning this race now. Wow. That's got to be such a gut wrencher. Such a gut wrencher. Go down to the battle for P12 here. You got a Haas and a Ferrari battling. As I say that, he ducks into the pits. Now it's up to Ginger. Ginger is 6.2 back. And Cookie has 6 seconds worth of penalties, but Ginger also has a 3-second penalty. I want to see what Ryan has. Ryan, I thought that was going to be a penalty. It is. 3-second time penalty. All of these top 4 have penalties. Cookie being the most with 6. These 3 right here trying to close the gap, but Cookie is just on cruise mode right now. Back to the battle for P8. We got Neudel. He is on a mission on the mediums. He's going to stretch them. It's going to be really tough there at the end, but he just does not care. He does not care. Cookie sets fastest lap of the race. Neudel is going to get around Zoo here. Yep, Zoo doesn't even fight it. He knows Neudel's on a mission. Neudel could get back up to P6. Dare I say P6, I think. Possibly P5. Ritzy, I think, is going to have to pit again. So P5 possibly still on the cards here for Neudel. Ryan, his gearbox is finally fixed. And he's closing on the back of Unknown. He needs to get around him. He does. Unknown is a couple seconds back of Horizon. But if I'm Ryan, I want to make quick work because Cookie's pulling away. And we're not used to seeing Ryan, having to fight people and trying to make up time. Usually he's the one that's trying to control the tempo and stay out in front. Go back real quickly to a battle for P15. I'd like to include everybody. Taylor has just had an absolutely horrible race. Currently sitting P15. As he's got a Haas closing onto the back of him. Not close enough. Cookie sets another quickest lap of the race. Neudel has gotten around. Sorry, Neudel had moved up to P7. Burrop's P8. Oh, Neudel makes a mistake. He makes a mistake. Oh, they touch maybe. Oh, they're close. No one gives. Oh, that was close. Neudel picks up a time penalty. I'm sure he's going to say it's because Burrop's really cut him off there. To be fair, if I'm in Burrop's shoes, and when that little arrow thing, switch between red and white, you think you're good, but you got to have some spatial awareness, though, so that's going to go to the stewards. Neudel is not going to be happy about that, and I'm sure he's going to send it up the inside here, trying to use the slipstream. They're both closing rapidly onto the back of Raffle. This is going to get interesting here. Burrop's fighting for all it's worth. Nordal trying to get around. Nordal shoots it up the inside. Burrop's just, he knows he's licked. Here we go. We got Nordal. He is on a mission. Going to try to make quick work of Raffle. He's on 17 lap old hards. Yeah, I thought he might have sent it up the inside right there. He's going to wait like a good lad. Yeah, he's right on the gearbox here. Yeah, if I'm Raffle, just let him by. Just see Zoo closing on to the back of Burrops as well. His teammate Wiz picks up a penalty. Nordal up into P6. Back to the battle for the final podium spot. Cookie continues to pull away. It's almost a 9-second gap now. Ryan still just trying. He's still saying about 7/10 back. Just can't really get there. Burrops now into the back of Raffle. Zub picks up another time penalty. Should be able to get this done pretty quickly, and he does. Williams in P7. It's nice to see. But I don't know if he can go to the end. It's going to be really close. 26 laps is a tall order. Zoo is trying to close onto the back of Raffle. Zoo on much fresher hards, and then that's quite an understatement. Raffle 18 laps on those puppies, while Zoo has 3. Ryan closing just a little bit more as Cookie gains another second this lap. Goodness me. Ryan's a lot closer. A lot closer. Doesn't have much ERS to work with here. Unknown trying to use all of his. Ryan just waiting. I think he might be saving up for the next lap. But he's just the closest he's been yet. All the while, they're really starting to make work on Ginger Horizon. They close within DRS of him. So, the way it's looking, Unknown and Ryan are quite a bit quicker than Horizon. Zoo going to get around Raffle, but Raffle going into the pits. Easiest way to make a pass, as we're about to have a battle shape up here for P2 through P4, dare I say. Unknown in the DRS. Currently, it changes when you're half a tenth. That's really close. Noidal, what has happened to Noidal? What has happened to Noidal? Virtual safety car. Oh, he lost it. He was pushing so hard to get back up there, and he loses it on the curb. That's gonna. Wow, look at this. Look how much Cookie has gained under the VSC. Gained like 3 seconds right there. Wow. Ryan trying to stay on the back of Unknown. Let's see if we can get a word from Nordal. Waiting for him to go back green here. Let's see if we can get a word from Nordal. And we are back green. Yeah, Horizon actually lost about a second and a half or two to Cookie there under the VSC. Ritzy goes in the pits. Shame to see Nordal. He's pushing so hard there. Skeppy in P9. Mean Fern P10. They're getting somewhat close to each other. Ritzy falls down the order. I'm assuming he's going to come out here. P9. But very close onto the back of the battle for P7. Going to get interesting real quick because we got a yellow flag through Sector 3. Goes away quickly. Already 2/3 of the way through this race. Be fair, it is one of the longer ones. But they usually do produce pretty good races, unlike actual F1, which aren't very entertaining. These are. Ritzy really close to Skeppy. Wisely backs out of it, but Ritzy on fresh tires. Yellow flag again through Sector 3. Got Unknown really close to rising now. These guys are really close here through Sector 3 as well. Unknown is going to try to get around Horizon here pretty quickly. Not yet. Try to go back to the battle. 4, P7. I'm sure this is going to get really feisty. Who has the most DRS? They're all pretty even. Except for Wiz. They're snaking. They're snaking. 3 wide! 3 wide! Oh, they touch! Oh, the Renault and the Williams, they touch! Ritzy just sent it up the inside of Wiz, who had nowhere to go. Wiz was just in a sandwich there, who collects Skeppy. Oh my gosh. That is going to be a steward's inquiry. Cookie sets fastest lap of the race, but my, oh my, some helmets are going to be thrown. Oh, no, no, no. Ritzy gets through, but Ritzy, that was bad. Ritzy, that was bad. My goodness, that, oh gosh, that's going to be a steward's inquiry. Ooh, goodness me. Oh, and Skeppy's not happy. Ritzy's left. Ritzy, I think, has left the session. And that's probably good, because I'm sure Wiz, who's on set for a P8 or P9 at least in the Williams, is not going to be happy. Neither is Skeppy. Here we go. Ritzy is back. He's unghosted. But my, oh my, that is not good to see. Unknown still right on the back of Horizon. That was a big no-no. Ritzy might try to get Skeppy here. Wiz, I think, came out the worst of all that. And I don't think Skeppy's going to want to let him by that easily. As Wiz is going to fight this out. Ritzy on Skeppy. Skeppy concedes for the time being. Back to a battle for P5. It's getting pretty testy. We've got another Williams in the top 5. Burrops in the Williams driving beautifully. Holding on to a 5th place position at worst, dare I say, P6. He has to do about 9 more laps on those hards, but I mean, currently he's in a really good position to score some major points for Williams. Starting to close up here for P3. Ryan closing on Unknown. 3 car lengths. 2 car lengths. Down into turn 1, not close enough. Unknown trying to close on Ginger Horizon. Back to P5. They're about to go on the front straightaway. Burrops is going to have to be careful. Try to maintain on the McLaren. These guys are monstrous. 53.5 seconds back of the leaders. Goodness me. Zoo easily gets to work past Burrops, and Burrops is going to say, you have at it, man. My goal is to be in P6. Which still is going to be fantastic if he can hold on to it. Ryan trying once again on Unknown. He's had to use quite a bit of BRS here, which I'm sure he's going to try to save as much as he can through Sector 3, which Unknown is as well. Trouble in Sector 1. Thought it might have been around P9, P10. Here we go. Much closer now. Much closer is Ryan. Unknown gets a little bit of a better exit. Using that ERS. Oh, he actually stops using it, and Unknown scoots away. Unknown as well stops using it, trying to close on Ginger. Yellow flag, it looked like a Renault. Might have been It's Me. Yellow flag, Sector 2. Might be a Racing Point, actually. As Unknown is really close to the back of Ginger now. These guys know that they can't beat Cookie unless he just gets, 9, 12 more seconds worth of penalties. But P2 is still on for the cards. Ryan really driving it in a hot there. It's a pretty good exit through there. Trying to save up as much ERS as he can, but not able to do that. I will, Joe. I will. Trying to monitor the battles right now. Oh, Horizon did not get a good exit there. Here comes Unknown. And Ryan's right there as well. This is going to get tasty. Unknown using ERS and DRS. Is he going to go for a move? Yes, sir. Around the outside. They touch. They touch again. They touch twice. But Unknown makes it work. Ryan trying to get around the Ferrari now. Ginger is not going to be happy about that move. Not happy at all. Yeah, if I'm Ginger, I'm not happy for that little bit of wheel bang there. Because you know he's mincemeat to Ryan here. If he doesn't get a move on. You can see that back end starting to twitch a little bit. He does have a lap older tires than Unknown and 2 laps older than Ryan. Looking back. Ryan just closes up so much through there. So much later on the brakes. I'm sure Horizon, he's going to take another crack at him here. He's got plenty of ERS to play with. He's actually got, more than double the ERS of both the other guys. So, yeah, he's going to use a lot of it here. He's going to have DRS as well. Does not get as good an exit as Unknown. He's going to have Ryan right on his gearbox. But Ginger has all the ERS to play with here. As he starts to scoot away from Ryan as he stops deploying it. Here goes Horizon. 3 car lengths, 2 car lengths, 1 car length heading into turn number 1. Unknown locks up. But he knows Ginger is there. Word from Noidal, he made a mistake. He pitted trying to catch Ritzy there at the end. Because obviously he had that problem with the broken wing. Tried to rebound, trying to catch Ritzy. He made a rookie mistake. I'm assuming he got him in the curve there, which is going to be so disappointing to see. You'll be back at it next week, lad. We know for sure. But we have got a absolutely thrilling battle for P2 here. Cookie, he set sail. Cookie could pretty much pit and still be within 5 seconds of these boys. Ginger making Unknown use all the ERS now. Look at that. 20% versus 50%. That's a lot. That's a lot for F1 here, especially with how much ERS plays a role. ERS is a whole lot more important than DRS, dare I say. Unknown gets another good exit. But Horizon, when is he going to throw open the ERS? He is not using it. He's not using it. While he might be waiting to the end, he might be waiting 2 or 3 laps. He knows if he can just hold Ryan behind and wait 2 or 3 laps, he can deploy it, get around Unknown. Oh, it's Reptile. Oh, what has happened? Safety car. A safety car is out. Phantom has wrecked, and this throws this race wide open. Oh my gosh. Phantom, what have you done? Phantom. Oh my gosh. And now Cookie's 20-second lead will go to 0. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, if you got a drink, if you got a Pepsi, if you got a Coke, if you got a bag of popcorn sitting in your pantry right now, go get it. Leave in the next 30 seconds. Go spend 2 minutes popping that popcorn and get back here because this is going to be exciting. Run, go run. Go get the popcorn right now. 51 viewers, and this is about to be one of the best restarts, one of the best ends to a race you have ever seen in your entire lives. Buckle up, folks. Here we go, into the pits. Cookie is in. See some of the drivers in the back here who are almost a lap down. We have got actually 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 drivers, 9. Only 9 drivers on the lead lap, I think 10. Only 10 drivers is on the lead lap. Hello, Warden. Nice to see you around. It's Deer Hunter commentating. Yeah, we've only got 10 drivers on the lead lap. FinFan actually comes out right behind Cookie. 10 drivers to battle for the win here. Unless FinFan is able to get around here. No. Wow, that means there's going to be a gap because there was a 20-second gap already. There's going to be a couple cars between Cookie and Unknown Horizon between Unknown Horizon and Ryan. But think about this also. Cookie has 6 seconds worth of penalties as well. So let's look at the race director and see how many penalties Unknown has. Unknown has 1. Ginger Horizon has 1. Ryan has 2. Ryan has 2. So, Unknown and Ginger, if these 2 boys can stay within 3 seconds of Cookie, they can win this race. That means Cookie is going to have to work like a dog to build up a 3-second gap, or hope Unknown and Ginger don't get another penalty, or else he could very well lose this race. But look at this. Look at this. Unknown is 2 seconds back of Cookie. And do you want to know why? Because there's a couple car gap in front of him. He's got FinFan in the Ferrari. He's got the Williams of Wiz and the ghost car of of Swifty, all blocking him, which you can't do anything about. So I assume safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap. And we're going to have 3 laps to go here. You see several drivers. I wish that F1 would make the rule that NASCAR does, where if you're a lap car, go to the back. Because look at this. You got 3 cars separating P1 and P2. I don't think that's right. I do not think that's right personally. I think if you're a lap car, get out of the way, go to the back, and let them all slug it out. You see Unknown trying to do the ghost car glitch to get around the ghost car. It's not going to work. Yeah, I just don't think it's right. I think if you're a lap car in F1, I mean, and in some cases they do. Some cases drivers will go to the back and F1 does nothing, which is fine. But in game, they should allow the option. If you're a back marker, either go around, get the wave around, and let the safety car, because in some cases they'll let you go and get your lap back, or just go to the back, because this just ruins finishes to some of these amazing races. But nonetheless, Unknown and Ginger have a shot at the win, but they've got to keep it within 3 seconds, which they're already at the cusp at. It looks like it's going to be a 3-lap battle, a 3-lap shootout. Grab the popcorn and get ready. Waiting for the word. It's in this lap. Everybody is pretty much caught up in the top 10. So top 10, pretty close here. At least the top 7 or 8 is. So all to play for points here. If you're in the top 10, you're guaranteed points, because 11th on back is a lap down. Safety car in this lap. It's going to be a 3-lap shootout. Cookie. Here we go. How quickly can Unknown and Ginger get around the lappers, and can they keep it within 3 seconds? Get ready. Ready. Green flag in the air. Cookie goes racing. Unknown is praying that the lap cars get out of the way, which they are not. This has got to be absolutely killing them. They do ghost, but that's got to be such a heartbreak. All these guys got to do is stay within 3 seconds. They're currently within 2. Battle back for P5. Oh gosh, they're 3 wide. They're 3 wide for a brief moment. The McLarens and AlphaTauris going to war. Battling back here for P6. P5. It's a Williams versus a Renault. Back here battling for P8 as well. Goodness me. Absolute dogfights back here. Burroughs picks up a penalty. The gap is 2.5 seconds from Cookie to Unknown. Back here through the back. P5 to P10 all scrapping now. You see Raffle with a little cheeky on the back of Skeppy. Cookie sets fastest lap of the race. He's got a 2.6 second gap. Unknown has 2 laps and needs to stay within a half a second of he is right now. Burrop's trying to fend off Zoo. Mean Fern, it's a McLaren P7 and P8. I wouldn't have said that at the start of the race. Burrop's trying to hold them both off. And the Williams. Can a Williams get a P6 here today? Or does it come down to the penalties at the end? It's going to be very entertaining to see. Very exciting. Unpredictable as always. Skeppy right on the back of the Mercedes as well, but he has a monster amount of penalties as he goes off track. Oh, Skeppy, oh boy, oh my gosh, this isn't off-road trucks. Skeppy's going to fall down to P10 for sure due to penalties. Battle back again for P6. The gap from Cookie to Unknown is 2.8. Cookie cannot, or Unknown cannot lose anymore. The gap is 3 seconds. Unknown is going to have to push like crazy if he wants to win this race. Coming out of the final corner, white flag in the air for Cookie. All he needs to hold is a 3-second gap to win the race. It's 3.3, 3.2, 3.1. 3 seconds. Unknown is pushing so hard it's back within 2.9. Burrops and Zoo battling it out for P6. Zoo getting a really good run here. Does he send it up the inside of the Williams driver? No, he waits. Battle back for P3 here. The gap is still 3 seconds from Unknown to Cookie. Cookie has been better through the third sector. Unknown better through the first and second. Gap is 3.1. Ryan trying to close in on Ginger. Not able to yet. Fern trying to close back on Zoo. Not able to either. Zoo trying to back on Burrops. Heading through the backstretch. Here we go. Heading into sector number 3. Unknown needs to close up by 2/10. Sector 3 has been his trouble point. The gap is 3.2. Cookie needs to get around 3 more corners to win this race. He is gaining 3.4. Coming around the final corner. Does Unknown have anything? The gap is 3.3, 3.4, and I think it'll be enough. Does Cookie win the race? He does by 0.3 of a second. Cookie wins it. Who gets on the podium? Ginger gets P3. Ryan P4. Coming to the back half of the points. P5. Does it Ritzy? Does he hold on to it? No. Burrops in the Williams gets it. It's a Williams in P5. Sue P6. Fern P7, I believe. Oh my goodness me. Woo! I hope y'all found that as exciting as I did. Raffle gets driver of the day. I don't know how, because he obviously doesn't deserve it. Oh my gosh. Absolutely amazing and intense racing throughout. And here we go, your podium finishers. It's going to be Boss Cookie. Unknown coming up 0.3 short. And then Ginger Horizon P3. And here we go. Let's get 7th through 10th. I believe that was Fern in P7, which would be an excellent result for the McLarens. It is. It's a P6, P7, Raffle P8 coming from P17. That might be close for the driver of the day. Pretty good by him. Ritzy falls down to P9. Skeppy P10. The final point scorer, Wiz, getting caught out because he was a lap down. Reptile P12. FinFan got to be disappointed with P13. Taylor P14. P15 is It's Me. Rhodes P16. Swifty P17. Phantom, Nordal, and Joe all DNS. But let's get these drivers into the party. Wow, absolutely phenomenal. I tell you, I'm out of breath. That was such an amazing race. Yeah, he went from P17 to P8, but he was a top 10, top 12 driver. and especially with penalties at the end, it's a good result for him. But I'm sure that's what the team expects. Um, I've got to give driver of the day to Unknown. He just went up there and took even though he fell back quite a bit, he was really close to P2, which Unknown, he struggled a bit this year. He's been about a P5 driver. And to go up there and battle for P2 and P3, and then there at the end, hold his own and almost get the win, really good drive by him. But let's get our podium finishers in here. And I no longer see Cookie. Nor Ginger Horizon. Also could say Burrout's possibly for driver of the day. P5 and a Williams, absolutely amazing. But let's try to get Ginger Horizon. And Cookie in the party for podium interviews. As problems once again getting Unknown in here. Let's try again. I'm sending them out, Cookie. Hold your horses. It's not my fault y'all don't join. Trying once again. There we go. There's Cookie. Trying once again to get Ginger Horizon and Unknown in here. Unknown had problems last week as well. Ginger's in here. Come on, Unknown. Get in here. Be sure both Ginger and Cookie include y'all's
the post-race interviews.
Yes, everybody include your audio. Ginger, Unknown, and Cookie. Y'all all three got it included?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with P3. Ginger Horizon, you ran P3 or P2 most of that race. You really had to fight hard there at the end, battling between Ryan and Unknown. Still a solid run for you in the Ferrari. Are you satisfied with a P3?
No, I am not, because I don't know. I mean, should have been a P2, but I don't know. I was just too slow today.
Did you think you had anything there for Unknown at the end to possibly have a crack at Cookie?
No.
Or did the lap cars really hurt you?
I think if I was P2 and there was no lap cars during the safety car, then maybe. But I mean, that's just hindsight. So I don't know.
Yep. Well, it's, I know you're disappointed, but still, it's a solid result. Do you think it's something you can sort of learn from and maybe carry some momentum into the next race, or are you just using this purely as a learning moment to see what you could have done better?
No, I'm just using this as a learning moment, really. Probably should practice, do one practice session before. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a solid result for you, though. It's on the podium. Moving to P2, Unknown. You were one of my potential candidates for driver of the day. You were riding around there P3 for a good portion of the race, P4 at times. Had to hold off Ryan while trying to close in on Ginger there at the end. And you came so close to your first victory. Did the lap cars hurt you there, starting a little bit far back on the restart?
No, the safety car kind of helped me a little bit with the new tires, but I don't know, Cookie was way too fast, especially in that third sector. I couldn't keep up. I was more worried about that Ferrari and Ryan behind.
Yeah, absolutely. I made note during the race. It seemed like in the first and second sector, you could hold your own. I think you're actually a little bit quicker through the first sector, but the third sector is what really cost you, and it was. You were within 3 seconds until you got to the third sector. So are you disappointed, or are you just happy knowing that you were up there battling for podium positions?
I'm just glad for the podium. I knew it was going to be a tough one. Just after short.
Well, it was a good race by you, and like I said, you're happy about it. So congratulations on the P2. You came so close. And Cookie, You won. You were able to
Boo.
beat Noidal here in the news from fellow drivers. You had to work. You had to work to get around Noidal early in the race. Noidal was not being a slouch over. Did you really expect that kind of fight early on in the race? And how much did the safety car play into your mind, knowing that you had 2 penalties while the drivers behind only had 1?
Oh,
Cookie?
I was muted, my bad. No, that safety car really fucked me over because I was gonna try to pit later on. I was trying to build the gap to 20 seconds and pit for softs, but I got fastest lap anyways, so I'm not really too fussed. But that put a lot of stress on me because I had 3 seconds more than Unknown and Ginger, and so I had to really push. But I was also 1 warning away from getting another penalty, so I had to like push but not push too hard. And yeah, I'm just lucky that I had lap cars between me and them, or else I probably would
Yeah,
have gotten
you,
the 3 seconds.
Hey, you did a good job there. Like I said, balancing between, you only had 1 more warning to play with, but also you had another penalty, so you had to build that gap. The lap cars definitely helped you there with the safety car. I got to say, though, Noidal, he held his own there. Noidal has not really been able to challenge a lot this season. He's been a lot like Alexander Albon compared to Verstappen, but he took the fight to you today. Do you think he's going to be a threat in the next coming races for you?
I mean, I'm going to McLaren, so I don't know, but yeah, he did a better job today than he did last week until he binned it. I mean, I don't know. He was holding me up a lot in the first few laps, though. It uh, wasn't like he was, like the quickest person out there today. But he did good. It would have been a Red Bull 1-2 because he had no penalties if he didn't bin it. But it is what it is.
Yeah, you drove a really good race. So you built up a 20-second gap once again before the safety car came out. You had a really good race. Like I said, penalties a little bit of an issue for you still, but I'm sure you're going to try to get them rectified before next race. Congratulations to all of our podium finishers. Once again, P3 for Ginger Horizon, P2 for Unknown, just coming 3/10 short of winning against our true in fact winner, Boss Cookie, at the end.
Unless
Congratulations to all of them, and be sure to give a shout out to all of our affiliates, Rogue Energy, tastiest energy for any gamer out there. Gamer Grind Co. If you want some good old coffee energy in the morning before you start streaming, go and check them out. GTUS Racing for a really comfy chair to make sure that your back, if you have a bad back like me, stays in check. It's a must need. Got to give a shout out to Into the AM for the best designs for whatever it is. If you want really good joggings or jogging pants, or if you want really nice shirt or even a hoodie, go to Into the AM and get some really good designs, and check out Teespring. They're the guys who make our BRL merch, so go and give them a shout. Thank you all for tuning in. Absolutely mental stream tonight. It was fun to commentate, and I'm sure it was fun to watch. Tune in next week for the Nets GP. Thank you.